Secret police snooping on convos? Yes. That is the entire premise of this game. Also, hello, Evelyn. The entire premise of the game is that we are snooping on... We are part of the surveillance state trying to suss out criminals and terrorists. That's the game. And whether we choose to actually do a good job on that, what things we choose to put into people's case files will have an effect on the characters and the world. Okay, Metharin, which we read about here. An antidepressant. Interesting. So I'm going to grab Goldfels, though. Member of Thought. I don't like this. This sounds dangerous. But saying that she has to catch the bus there every day, I think is safe. This is a pretty cool game. Meaning her presence there before the bombing could be coincidence after all. It could be. I'll reserve my thoughts until you find more evidence. Fuck, man. Nothing on Harrison O'Donnell. Goldfels. Who the fuck is Goldfels? This sounds really hinky. Frankly, I think the safest thing for us, even though I don't love it, is to bring in her medication. Love the reference to 1984. Yeah. So the thing here is that people really like to use mental illness as evidence that someone is untrustworthy, dangerous, right? And so I am worried that if we bring in the medication, that Symes, our advisor, will be like, oh, well, clearly she's unhinged, so... But given that the two pieces of evidence we have at our disposal right now are that, and she was part of a group called Thought that she desperately wanted to prove her worth to, which sounds kind of like... Sort of what I'm hearing here is that she went to this protest, she was active, she cares about activism, obviously, and so she went to this protest to prove her worth to some kind of activist group, and in doing so got framed for attacking this cop. And so I don't want to bring this in because it risks saying that she's an active member, even though we don't know that she is. So I'm going to go with this for now. What's this Metharin? Can you look that up for me, please? Yep, I got you. Metharin Blue. Mood elevating. It's an antidepressant. It is not an antipsychotic or anything like that. It's an antidepressant. She might be emotionally unstable if she's reliant on this medication. Oh my god. Fuck you, Symes. That's exactly what I was worried about. And that didn't give us anything new. Fuck. If it's her family's, because Watergate is her last name? Yes. Yeah. Her family is... We've already established that her family owns Watergate Pharmaceuticals. I don't think there's anything in here for us to grab. So really all we can do is grab the Goldfells thing. Fine. I don't like this. An activist group called Thought. Interesting. Maybe this is what influenced her. And who's Goldfells? We should find something that shows her current attitude and see if we're following the right person. Oh! Oh! Maybe we can show that it's not her anymore. Okay, cool. The thoughts are free. If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. George Orwell. Entry 1. The thoughts are still free? This article is private. Archived. Freedom is unfree. Published in 2016 by Casarthis. That's her. Let's see, it's currently 2017. So this was last year. It's cams everywhere, even at the Freedom Plaza. Is it just me, or is that more than just a little bit, I don't know, ironic? You probably know me as either that blue-haired punk bitch, stupid, not saying that word, or anti-governmental terrorist. These are only some of the names I've been called during the criminal investigation against me. That was just because in the middle of the chaos, someone believed to have seen me hurt a police officer. Never even occurred to me that it wasn't me. We were there because we wanted a peaceful protest. We have always been against violence. Yes! Nice. One would assume that in an age where there are cams everywhere, it should be easy to prove whether I was at all involved or not, but it wasn't. It took weeks of investigative custody to figure out that the cam footage was actually not clearly showing anything at all, which raises the question, why are there so many cams in the first place? The answer is intimidation only. You keep calm, quiet, and careful when there are cameras around, or you fear that there are cameras where you cannot see. When founding this blog years ago, Abraham... My power just flashed a little bit. That's fine. That's not concerning at all. Okay. Anyway, when founding this blog years ago, Abraham predicted pretty much this for all of the web, and now it's in our realized too. We've been brought to the Freedom Memorial since we were kids at school. We were told lavish tales about the founders of the nation, told to show national pride. And I know what you're thinking now. This thing is damn ugly. What is that donut even? The let freedom ring? But the statement behind it, this ridiculously enormous heap of stones, should be clear. In the middle of the Capitol, there's a symbol of freedom. Comprehensible symbolism for everyone. Isn't it? With the cameras there, this is now the plaza of unfreedom, if anything at all. Our thoughts still free. Hey, we got access to the first one. I propose to consider the question, are our thoughts still free? While this might seem to be a surprising question in our current world of ever-growing digital surveillance, freedom of thought is no longer self-evident. There's a German folk song called The Thoughts Are Free. It goes like this. Oh, where did this come up? Oh, God. Fuck. The song came up somewhere. Was it our boss that mentioned it? Anyway, thoughts are free, who can guess them? They fly like nocturnal shadows. No man can know them. No hunter can shoot them. With powder and lead, thoughts are free. Oh, wait. It was in the news. And there's something new on the timeline. We'll check that in a second. It was in... an anonymous letter containing the first 3 stanzas of the German folk song, The Thoughts Are Free. Yeah. Okay. I bet it's Goldfels. The German folk song called The Thoughts Are Free goes like this. Thoughts are free. Who can guess them? I think what I want and what delights me, still always reticent, and as it is suitable. My wish and desire no one can deny me, and so it will always be. Thoughts are free. And if I am thrown into the darkest dungeon, all these are futile works, because my thoughts tear all gates free and walls apart. Thoughts are free. When I was still young, long before I immigrated to the nation in 1993, I believed this to be a universal truth, that there are no borders for thoughts and no rules for what is or is not allowed to be thought. This was not because I thought people should be so tolerant, not at all. Instead, I simply held it dear that nobody except ourselves really knows what is going on in our heads until we chose to reveal it. Yesterday, a question crossed my mind. If the increasing interconnectedness of humans via modern technologies serves more and more as a collective memory and brain of our society, and there is an institution that is capable of monitoring every bit stream of it, how can thought still be free? Is it not likely that we will communicate only under great mental reservation, to hold on to our knowledge, which means as a final consequence, we will stop thinking? When I think of the increasingly aggressive operations of the surveillance machinery in the nation, I truly fear the answer to this question. That is why I created this blog. I want to encourage alternatives to the total control and safety bigotry of this digital world. Free and private are not the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. But also, like, there are bits of this that I agree with and bits of this that I find troubling. Specifically, the idea that you should be allowed to think whatever you want to think is, like, in a sense, I agree with it, right? Like, obviously, I don't think a government should be allowed to tell you what specific thoughts to have. But I think socially we're allowed to tell people not to think stuff, right? Socially, we're allowed to be like, if you think this, that's fucked up. You should not feel worried about what private things to make public. Yeah, absolutely. So, like, I don't agree with Goldfels in the space of, you know, all thoughts should be okay. All thoughts should be fine. Because, I have thoughts where I'm like, no, Dylan, that's fucked up. Don't think that, right? Like, even just to have a benign example, that sort of intrusive thought that you can have, where you're like, nothing I do matters, right? That's an intrusive thought that a lot of people with anxiety have, a lot of people with depression. And that one hits me every once in a while. And I don't think that's like a thing that I should be entertaining as equal to all other thoughts that I have. Even though that only affects me, really, like, even on that level, I don't think that's a thing that we should hold as precious and as sacred as all other ideas. And if I were to go around saying that, people would be like, yo, Dylan, no. That's not true, right? People would disagree, they'd push back. Do I think my government should arrest me for thinking that? No. But I do think we should exist in a world where, yes, we're free to share our ideas, but we're not free to share those things without consequence, if that makes sense. Without social consequence. And in some cases where you're, you know, encouraging harm, you know, when you have people on the internet who are encouraging self-harm, which I have experienced. I don't think that should be safe. I don't think you should be allowed to do that. And that is a kind of thought that I think we should be allowed to condemn. But also I'm a police abolitionist and a prison abolitionist. And I believe in restorative justice. So none of my answers to those problems consist of sending people to prison. So yeah. Anyway, carrying on. Oh boy. How many of Dylan's political opinions can we get out in a single stream? That's the real question. Interesting name, by the way. I just stumbled upon your new blog, and that's the truth you tell there. The web was born in the sense of the ultimate freedom to be who you want to be, express yourself, wasn't it? Now the gov has come to threaten this with real name policies and shit. Save your IP so they can look up who you are, so you don't say anything wrong, possibly. About time someone did something. Well, if you didn't have one follower, you've just gained yourself your first follower. Frankly, I'm surprised to find someone here at all. I thought nobody would ever find this blog at all. Thank you very much for your kind words, and yes, I am very delighted to have a first follower. Hello, admin. I like your things too. Could you but now even more, to get a service on search engine optimization independent, others get clicks and more money for you now use. Sorted by most recent, is it? March 30th? February 17th? No, it's chronological. Let's click on this though. Goldfells, Articles 5. Why can I not grab this image here for Goldfells? Why? Okay. Back. This has a conflict we can't see yet. Catharthus. Contact is there. Okay, let's check we got something new on the timeline here. Finally, someone who had the grit and explosives to show how futile surveillance is. This would be the conflict with the doesn't like violence. Really, Cassie? You laugh at people being killed. Are you out of your mind? Ugh. I think that this is... thought they were the same guess, but it's a bot. Yeah. I love the realism of having a bot there. Oh, God. Okay, so this is now. And this article was last year. Oh, God. I mean, so here's the thing. She has a clear history with this location specifically. She has not been a fan of it for a long time. But I think the social media posting is just bluster. Like, this feels like, and I'm saying this in light of this year, right? Seeing the way that people have talked about the protests across the US this year. There are a lot of very angry people who are willing to say things or could respond positively to certain news that is not necessarily reflective of their actual actions or where they set their own line. Can we see the article she posted on her wall? Yeah, we've already read it. It's just the news article about the bombing, which is where we started. I'm going to go with this one. I think if anyone, it's Goldfels, or it's that anonymous commenter. Huh. If you think that is her actual attitude, we might be barking up the wrong tree after all. I think so, yeah. Alright, what we found so far is all good and interesting, but I think you should be searching for something a little more concrete. We have to dig deeper. Oh god. Juliet Carrington, her friend. Hey, Cassie. Hi, Jules. Cassie, I just wanted to know. Your post on Timelines about this assault. You really shouldn't write something like that. Really, Jules, you're not going to preach to me about this stupid post, are you? No. I just wanted to know what's wrong, Cassie. It's nothing. Just between the two of us. I just had to let off steam, you know? Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Like, she's in a really bad mood. It's because of what happened, isn't it? Yeah, and lots of other shit today. The bombing stirred up all of this crap again. You know, what I did. Oh, what happened there wasn't your fault. Cassie, you hurt that officer to save me, and you succeeded. You mustn't forget about that. That was so brave. How can I not have been my fault? Juliet, I smashed the freaking skull of a father of 2 children because I lost it. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Who knows what would have happened if you hadn't stopped him, and this is why you really should remove this post. I feel like an asshole, the worst kind of asshole. I might be free, but not rightly so. I'm not innocent. Cassie, nobody is innocent. You'll have to let it go. Oh. I think she's having a bit of a breakdown. I think she's having like a supremely shit day. And this, she did it to protect a friend, but she also broke the law. This is not a convo to have via text message. Yeah, I mean, no, this is a conversation to have in person in a place where there are no microphones or electronics present. But that's like such an ideal. Really, realistically, this is a conversation to have via a encrypted messenger such as Signal, which I think is actually what's happening. I'm not entirely sure how we're getting access to these messages, but yeah. Frankly, and I say this not as like a you should do a bad thing, kids, because that's not how I feel at all. I say this as you should get to make decisions about what information is publicly available, and I think that's fair. I think everyone should be using end-to-end encrypted communication for private conversations, whether that's just talking about how your day is going. Dear God, if you're a person who shares nudes with people, you should be using an encrypted messenger for that. Anything at all that you want to keep private, you should be having that conversation over something that is end-to-end encrypted. I'm gonna go with this one because yeah, she broke the law, but that was what, a year ago, 2 years ago that event happened. And that isn't what we're investigating right now. We're investigating the bombing. And sort of what I'm reading here is that something happened. An officer was attacking Juliet in some way, which ACAB, fuck 12, etc., not surprising to me. And to save Juliet, Cassandra did attack the officer with a brick. And this because I lost it part, I think is like she saw what was happening to her friend. She couldn't stand by and do nothing. She got angry. She attacked, which personally I consider to be reasonably justified. So I don't want to grab this because it will heavily implicate her and misrepresent the situation. I think that this I don't feel like this specifically puts her in a super positive light. I think it's the most reasonable representation of what happened, and so that's why I'm choosing this one. What? Where did that come from? This is perfect. We can arrest her and open the investigation again. Fuck. However, we probably won't be able to hold her for long if it really happened in defense of this Juliet. Yeah, good. Very good work. The intervention team is already on its way. We'll need to wait for confirmation. Oh, God. Okay. Next stop, Wonderland, right? Just kidding. Next time, be careful with providing wrong data, though, okay? In Miss Watergate's case, it was not a problem to get her address with the help of local police due to her former record. Yeah, so the thing is, in this case, we'll get to this update in a second. With this case of the attack on the officer, it is my belief that all public servants are ultimately public servants, servants of the public, and they have a responsibility above all else to serve the public. So, if you have a public servant who is not doing that, who is harming the public in really conceivably any way, I think it is within reason to push back against that. So, and that stands for my general feelings about police violence in this country now as well. I think police are fucking off the hook pretty much everywhere. And so I have a hard time judging people that protest for sure, or even riot, destroy property, because property can be replaced and lives cannot. Okay. I thought about what you said. Maybe you're right. I should take the post down. It'd be better, believe me. Wait a second, somebody is at the door. BRB. Okay, I'll wait. Oh, fuck. I don't want to read this conversation. Oh, God. How's your boyfriend? You're still together? You haven't been talking about him all that much lately. Well, not as much as before. Hello? Oh, fuck. Are you still there? Cassie? I'll inquire if all went well with arresting Miss Watergate. You did a good job in any case. I don't think it was her. I really don't. Although we have no proof she is involved in the bombing, we might be able to question her. But if we don't get clear evidence she was involved in the assault, she will not stay there for long. We don't have enough against her to charge and hold her. Good! Okay, I just received confirmation that she is now in custody. Very good work indeed. I'm curious about this thought group, though. Whether they... Oh, God. No. Take a look at the news. 2 dead after second explosion. An explosion at Stelican University campus kills 2 students. Is there a connection to yesterday's assault? Shut up, Symes. I'm reading. That is horrible. 2 dead, similar approach, same letter found, so these assaults are connected. And as if that wasn't enough already, Miss Watergate was in custody at the time, so that's her out of the picture, at least for this attack. Yeah, no shit! This complicates matters massively. So much for our simple test case. I need to speak to my superiors, see how we are to proceed given these extenuating circumstances. You did good today. You can log off and get some rest by clicking the button on the top right of the desktop. Try and get some sleep. I have a feeling the next few days are going to be trying at best. But she could have planned it. Love the ads in the news article. Yeah. Explosive charge set off at Stelligan University in Boston. At least 2 people dead, 3 injured. Once again, a letter has been received just before the crime. Half an hour ago, an explosion occurred at the campus of Boston University. According to latest reports, at least 2 people were killed, with a further 3 injured severely. The area was evacuated immediately. According to yet unconfirmed statements, the city administration office of Boston received an anonymous letter just minutes prior to the detonation, which again contained the first 3 stanzas of the German folk song Die Gedanken sind frei, the thoughts are free. Exactly like the letter received before the assault on the Freedom Plaza yesterday. We will inform you about any developments on this event as soon as further details are available. Are you sure you want to finish your work for today? All unprocessed data chunks will expire. Yes. Good. Based on the data submitted, we have learned the following. Okay. Cool. Let's go to the next day, I guess. We'll do 2 days today, I think. A place where there is no darkness. And I think this is 5 days? Welcome back. I hope you don't mind if we get started right away. We have tons of work ahead of us. I met with my superiors and they wish to continue with the test case. They believe in the capability of Orwell to handle this. Oh, and you, of course. My superiors agree with me. Based on the information you have already extracted, the activist group known as Thought is worth investigating. It seems that Goldfels is an important member of Thought, so we now have clearance to consider them as a target person. Now that Goldfels is a target person, there may be new data chunks available in documents you already accessed. Don't forget to go back and recheck your sources. Cool. Goldfels it is. We have a new arrest record here. Oh boy. Okay, let's start with that. Let's just go from the top. April 13th, 2017. Redacted. The suspect was arrested in her flat. She willingly opened the door and cooperated with the arresting officer after having the warrant announced and her rights read to her. Okay. Attacks against Stelligan University in Boston and Freedom Plaza are connected, experts conclude. The bombing that occurred yesterday at Stelligan University seems to be connected to the attack against the Freedom Plaza earlier this week. This is the conclusion of the police division who is investigating the cases. In both assaults, a similar explosive device, quote, created with pure malevolence, unquote, that's helpful and useful and actionable information, appeared to have been used, police spokeswoman Steele said. The letters received prior to the assaults seem to support the suspicion, while their meaning is still puzzling investigators. According to rumors, people have been theorizing the number of stanzas might represent the number of bombings, which in turn raises the question whether there might be another bombing yet to occur. We understand that some people jump to this conclusion, but there is no good reason to believe this, Steele answered when confronted with this theory during a press conference. Meanwhile, Stelligan University has declared that normal operation cannot continue under the circumstances, so they will be closing their doors for the time being. The university has also put a special front page to pay their respects to the assault's victims. See image above. Timelines and Rawson announce cooperation. The Davenport siblings, owners of the biggest social network, Timelines, announced major cooperation with software giant Rawson Technologies. It's a big deal. The internet billionaire siblings Ada and Alan Davenport, creators and owners of the most important important online social network, Timelines, located in Hillberry, are starting a major cooperation with the bought-in software giant Rawson Technologies. This has been announced in a press statement given out on Friday by the PR departments of both companies simultaneously. By utilizing the existing infrastructure and software development capacities of Rosin Tech, Timelines will be able to respond to the needs and requirements of the quickly changing digital world in real time. Timelines executive Ada Davenport is quoted. Our growing user base will profit from this by significantly reduced downtimes, tightened security, and a sped-up integration of new features. Heavy rainstorms expected this weekend. Bonton and Fairview, as well as large parts of the western nation, will be covered in heavy rain clouds culminating on Sunday. If you had any plans for the weekend involving the outdoors in Bonton or Farview, I should say, you'd best forget about them. There's a massive low-pressure system incoming, bringing with it storm clouds and rain to the nation's west. Sunday morning will hit the hardest until the late afternoon, so make sure you pack an umbrella if you need to go outside, lest you become a sopping mess. There's a literal silver lining on the horizon, however. Over the coming week, the cloud will move on, and temperatures will stabilize at comfy levels. After a long and harsh winter, spring will finally win the upper hand. I think this is fake. I think this is a false weather report meant to encourage people to stay inside and reduce casualties in the event of another bombing. Provide a portrait and full name for Goldfells and a profession. Okay. Grab this. Immigrated to the nation in 93. An immigrant. Which we already know the nation doesn't like immigrants. Creator of a blog called The Thought. These feel like relevant and non-damning information. The Thought, an activist group with the same name as this blog. If Goldfells is the one who created the blog, perhaps he founded or even was the leader of the activist group. I think this person is who we should be worrying about. That's my suspicion. Nothing here. Anything new elsewhere? Did she delete this? She did not. Might not be out of custody yet. Listener. Okay, we're gonna have to grab the we're gonna have to grab this because it's the only available intel. What if we disable it? Does that progress us anyway? No, it doesn't. All right. The letter. We are right, it seems. God, this is fucking Reddit Detective, the video game. Entry 8. Thought must change direction. Oh, that's a lot of stuff that just popped up. Okay. I thoroughly believed we were able to capture minds if only we could garner attention on thought as a group and what we stand for. It seems my ambition was once again too much. After 1.5 years recruiting 2 of my students and arranging 3 demonstrations like the one held at Freedom Plaza, I feel obliged to ask myself where we stand. Have we reached our goal? What has been sacrificed along the way? In short, are we true to the initial goal that formed the group? Frankly and sadly, the answer to the latter is a resounding no. We let ourselves be consumed by anger and hatred towards those we thought to do us wrong. Thoughts are free, but that does in no way mean that they can attack and do whatever they wish. Instead of blaming others, I now see my high aims might well be the cause for all the events in the past months. More than anyone else of thought, I feel responsible. As a consequence, I will halt my active engagement in this group. I firmly believe it shall be for the better of everyone involved, especially my students from Stelligan. Yep. Okay. Add this one. Concerned one. Please reconsider. Oh, God. Whatever active engagement means. Still, an interesting fact. Please reconsider. Guy hurt. There was only a goddamn cop. They had it coming for long. It was messy, I know, all the way back to the thing I messed up organizing. But hell, look at the bright side. We made the news. This is what we wanted, what you wanted. Yeah, this person. This person. Students from Stelligan. What? What now, Stelligan? The same Stelligan where a bomb just exploded? You know what I think about coincidences. I won't repeat it. Okay, let's check this. From the lawyer boyfriend. Hey, you. I'm sorry about last night. I really should have come over. This is just this client is, or it's just that this client is massively influential and could bring a whole lot of exposure to the office. I've been trying to get a meeting for months and it went rather well, so here's hoping. God, I'm such a stupid old man who talks about his job too much. I'm sorry, it's such a big part of my life. Hello? Are you still upset? Cassie, can you at least answer me? If you don't, I'll start to worry. You know what I'm like. About that, bud. She's in the clink! Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. What did you miss? We arrested Cassie. Yep. You missed. I'm being the least statist I could be. I'm trying to not be fash in a game that is trying to make you confront the effects of the fash. Shouldn't she have called him? We don't know. We don't know if people are allowed to call their lawyer first thing, especially given that they couldn't hold her. So, and also he's her boyfriend, so I don't know if he's still her lawyer. I don't know. I'm gonna take this one. Again, I don't think it's Goldfels. I really think it's that commenter. Menacing, but against whom? The state, the government, and what troubled past? Okay. Where can we still grab things? Here? Recruiting 2 of my students. Yeah. I think one of these students is Cassie and the other is this commenter. 3 demonstrations. More interesting might be that the 2 students seem to be involved. So far, the evidence suggests that Goldfels was a prominent lecturer at Stelligan, and some of his students became involved in thought. Did he, recruit them for his cause? We need to identify those students, see who else is involved with the group. TNB, suspect of Bonton bombings arrested. Oh no, is she getting implicated again? Fuck. Yesterday evening, an explosive device went off on Stelligan campus, killing a Stelligan student as well as a lecturer. Several other individuals have been severely injured. The authorities are investigating. I bet this is Goldfels, is the lecturer, and the student is the second one. Or is one of the students he recruited, and the other one, I'm betting, is the commenter. This is an unspeakable tragedy, Stelligan President Hopkins said during the press conference that took place this morning. In the light of recent events, it is impossible to maintain daily routine. This is why I have decided to suspend all educational services of Stelligan University until further notice. Therefore, Stelligan campus will remain closed at least for the rest of this week, with no educational courses or events taking place. Great public dining hall. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Courses. Stelligan University, yada, yada, yada. Media ethics. This course is currently unavailable due to Representative Professor A. Goldfels having retired. Okay. Interesting. Being a luminary in his profession, Abraham Goldfels, that's his name. We'll hold on to that. Abraham it is. Well done. Professorship in the field of media ethics at Stelligan, from which he sadly retired in fall 2016. So he's retired as of a year ago. Did you notice the bombing locations seem to be closely connected to Thought? There could be a pattern emergent. Yup. Thought has held 3 demonstrations, yet there have only been 2 bombings, which might imply... Well, it's definitely a shot in the dark, but we absolutely need to do everything we can to prevent another attack. Take a close look at the past of each member with Thought, find out locations of all demos they have held that might yield a hint. Previously, Professor Goldfels held a position as a journalist at Der Reporter, one of the most renowned German daily newspapers, and was also a chairman of the Global Media Ethics Congress. In his works, Professor Goldfels never relents to emphasize the importance of privacy over public interest. Yeah. Man, so this is a thing that happens when I play games that are mostly talking, is that if there isn't anything in between all the talking, I get super tripped up super fast. This takes place in the nation. That's the name of the country we're in. It just is the nation. So, no. Kind of. Notable alumni. Catherine Delacroix, huh? Joseph Langley. Interesting. Enjoy her canned water? Canned water? What? Oh, I see what you did there. First suspect arrested, or in connection with the assaults arrested. A couple of minutes ago, the Bonton Police Department reported that an arrest in connection with the recent bombings in the capital has been made. A young woman has been brought into custody thanks to investigation efforts of a special task force, police spokesman Kaufman said. How the woman is related to the bomb attacks, Kaufman did not cover. However, it is rumored that the suspect is well known to authorities by other incidents. Fuck. Sorry, Cassandra. Attendee list. Let's see, winter semester. Media. Juliet Carrington was a student here. God, these are so many names. There must be something in here for us, though. Maybe we go back. Media. Nope, back further. To 2015-16. Media. Goldfells. Looking for names that we recognize. Carrington, Juliet, yep. And is that it? Yeah. We've seen this name before, haven't we? Right, she was a friend of Miss Watergate. Now it also appears that she was a student of Abraham Goldfells. I think that's enough to warrant a report. Give me a few minutes. All right, we have authorization to investigate Miss Carrington. Great. Good for us. Okay. What else can we get? Here. There's more on the attendee list. Hiding in here, waiting for us. Media. What about law? What's this guy's name again? Joseph Langley. Something tells me we're gonna see him. No. Bennett. Summer 2015 law. Media. Nothing from Goldfells in 2015. Summer 2015, I should say. There's still information here for us, though. We'll have to come back for it. Or maybe this is new? What? What's new here? There's nothing new. Is there something new on the website? Courses? Notable alumni? No, she's not an alum. Okay, let's go to the timeline. We'll go to Cassandra's timeline, because we can grab her picture from here, right? Nope. We'll go to hers. There we go. PR assistant at Rosen. Okay. Born also in 92. Farview. Into some chill stuff. We've already pointed out, though, that she has better... where's my brain? Media privacy instincts than Cassandra. You actually can dance, and I got proof now. I'm bored to death. Muffins. You know, I'm not so keen on going out late night. Cassandra Watergate friend. We already know that, don't we? Oh, Cassandra Watergate engaged in torture. Whoops. Let's not go with that one. This seems relevant and fine. Go to that in a second. Nobody took notice. Nobody cares. Recent breakup, maybe? Only 1 week left until I enter my thesis at Abraham's course, and then it's goodbye Stelligan. Okay, so she's graduated. This drives me outright mad, even though Cassandra and I just got to know each other at the protest. Oh, they met at the protest. Oh, that's... okay. Interesting. If one pisses off the government, one must expect them to respond accordingly. Action causes reaction. That's simple-mindedness. Roll eyes. Also, this doesn't sound like the Juliet I know. You wouldn't even accept the duty of being the class representative when you were appointed. How come you care so much about politics now? I'm not surprised you stand up for your beliefs. Underneath, you're a strong one. But activism, attending demonstrations, is that still you? God, if I don't know like 10 of these reply guys. Sometimes people change their minds. Sometimes other people help to get the right mindset. Find out what you truly care about. This is about our freedom, and I know what it feels like to not be free. What would you want me to do instead? Sit at home being indifferent? Indifferent? No, I just see no use in occupying public plazas and throwing stones at poor men and women. This is a democracy. We have petitions for... Oh my fucking god. Ugh! Throw Rick Denton into the sun. Look, I'm gonna talk for a second. So, democracy. It's great, right? We love democracy. We love having our feelings heard, having a collective impact on how laws are written, rules are made, because the idea is that those things should reflect the general opinion of what is good and permissible in society, right? But here's the thing, right? Someone has to write those rules. Someone has to do that work. Someone has to write stuff down and say, this is how it is. This is what we do when the rules are broken. And that person is not going to be perfect. And sometimes that person will have their own, like, agenda in doing that work. A lot of the time. Because the kind of people that are going to want to have that power and that privilege are people that will want to do something specific with it. In a lot of cases. Now, is that always true? Are all politicians evil? No. But you will have people who have a vested interest in the laws looking a certain way. And even when people don't have that vested interest, if they're in a position to write the laws, they will have to write it in one particular way or another, and oftentimes they will write it in the way that benefits their worldview. That's just gonna happen. Yeah, and that's how you end up with situations where only landowning males have the right to vote. Which, like, is an inherent flaw of democracy. Does that mean we should check out democracy? No, but it's a thing that we have to be aware of. And so when you say that we have systems within democracy, we have petitions, we have processes for changing things, we need to also acknowledge that those systems were also written by people who had biases and agendas. Those processes for changing the law, those processes for being heard, were written by people who are fallible and biased. So it is possible for those systems to either intentionally or accidentally, all at once or over time, be designed in a way that keeps either certain people or certain ideas from being heard. It's just going to happen. That's a thing. So protest, and oftentimes violent protest, such as like rioting and destruction of property, is how you circumvent our made-up system that was written by fallible and biased people. It's how you shortcut those problems. It's like when you're playing a role-playing game and you're like, this rule fucking sucks. And so there is a process by which you could contact the developer. Like, let's talk about Dungeons & Dragons, a game full of rules that suck. And some rules that don't, to be fair, but full of rules that suck. If you really want those rules to be different, you could go through the process of contacting people at Wizards of the Coast, explaining how you think it could be better, and petitioning them to change it. Or, perhaps more legitimately, you could try and get a job at Wizards of the Coast and change it yourself. Those are processes available to you. But in most cases, if you are playing Dungeons and Dragons and you come across a rule that sucks, you just will change it at your table. Even if authors have good intentions, there may be unintended consequences. Writing rules is hard. Yeah, exactly. And I say this both as a game designer and as someone who has written policy. Like, how much of this am I willing to talk about? I have not written legal policy, to be fair. I am not a politician or a legislator. But I served on the board of an organization that created youth programming for teens and young adults. And that was an intentional, community-focused leadership development organization. And I served on that board for about 5 or 6 years. And that included drafting and discussing and debating bylaws for the organization, the rules by which we conducted our work, and also by which our events were run and organized and funded. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy to write rules that are fair and unbiased. It is hard to write rules that are fair. I would say it's essentially impossible to write rules that are unbiased. So, sometimes, when the systems that exist fail you and have been designed, either intentionally or otherwise, to keep your voice from being heard, you must go outside of that system in order to be heard and change that system. Okay. Digression done. I'm so proud of you that you are capable of using the essential tool of any good Slacktivist. Hell, I would like to post a really slow clapping sound, but Timelines doesn't allow it. So just freaking imagine if you can. Harry, while I appreciate that you've got my back and everything, I don't think you need to intervene here. This is a Rick and Juliet only thing. Thank you. Yeah, Harrison is... I'm sus about Harrison. We can include this information. I think it's safe. Have we already read this? Yes. Okay. Let's look at this. Happy birthday, honey. So good to have you back. Kissy face. To mark the occasion, we decided to update your profile on our family page. I hope you like it. Yay, happy birthday from me as well. Have a good one. Jonathan Esser Carrington. We are the Carringtons. They have a family website. I think the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact is a good example of, oh shit, I didn't think of that. I have not heard of that one. Oh, wait, is that the thing where a bunch of states have agreed that they will assign their electoral votes based on the popular vote instead of their own state-specific system if enough states join the thing? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I appreciate that they were they had the foresight, whoever drafted it and whoever has been joining. I think California has agreed to that. That they had the foresight to say that it will only come into effect if enough people agree to it, because otherwise it could be horribly abused. I appreciated that when I read about it. A man walks into a bar and meets the girl of his dreams. They marry, settle down, and have 4 daughters. What may sound like the beginning of a cheap joke or some kind of pulp fiction is in fact a fairy tale come true. When John met Esther, They immediately knew it was love, so it is no wonder that only a year later they got married in a small chapel near Lake Springwell. At the same time, they began to build a house in Malloy Court, a cozy little spot in Farview, which would serve as the very foundation of their family, and which they still inhabit to this day. Happily ever after, so to speak. In 1985, their first daughter, April, was born. Little did they know that there were 3 more to follow. April McKinter Carrington. This is so much information about your family. Oh my god. Firstborn daughter of the Carrington family, as you may have guessed already. Her name is not a coincidence. When the little girl decided to be born on the 1st of April, instead of the March date the doctors had calculated, John and Esther spontaneously decided to name their daughter in tribute. Now fully grown and independent, April is married to Roy McIntyre. May Carrington, born in November. Oh, April, May, June, and Juliet, July. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute, but also, I think if I were named along that naming scheme, I would hate it. All right, Juliet. Get a more specific birthday. Loves banana nut muffins. Interesting. Red. Yum. If we fail to prevent the next assault due to you processing random data, I won't be taking the fall. Okay, I like a joke as much as the next person. But her favorite color, do you really think that is pertinent information right now? There's an active bomb threat right now. Could you please focus on that? Look, dude, I'm just trying to get as much information here as possible. To Kill a Mockingbird. What's that one about again? I actually never read that in high school. So, since the nestling of the family showed up a little bit unexpectedly, the parents, Jonathan and Esther, decided that they would end the strictness of the naming pattern her sisters had followed in favor of a slight aberration. Juliet learned to play the guitar, even developed the plan to become a professional musician in a band. However, she decided to end her band career once she was single again. Her studies of media economy and focused on her studies of media economy at media economy, not media ethics. Interesting. Rosin Tech. The 10 Commandments. Any vision is valuable. Software can solve any problem. Oh god, this is every startup in San Francisco. Fuck, I hate it. Embrace the client's vision. Yada, yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. Tech speak. Boring. Get in touch. French. Juliet Carrington. Let's take the picture and the phone number. Did we grab the phone number? No, we did not. There we go. Good work. The listener will also track incoming and outgoing phone calls of numbers you have added. Are we going to actually hear, welcome to Rosin Tech. This is PR assistant Juliet Carrington speaking. How may I be of service? Hello, Juliet Carrington. This is Esther. You sound so official at work. Oh, hi, Mom. Is this important? You know I can't take personal calls while I'm at work. I just wanted to check in, make sure you were home for dinner tonight. Actually, I'm heading out with some friends from work. Time for some Bonton clubbing. Uh-oh. Honey, please don't. On the news, they said it would be advisable to avoid public places. They expect another bombing. Mom, I get that you're worried, but I can't just sit at home with you every night of the week. That's exactly what those terrorists want us to do. Avoid public life. We can't give up our freedom like that. Honey, please. You won't have much freedom left if you're dead. Mom, I won't die. How can you be so sure about that? I could just as easily be hit by a car on my way home to your lovely dinner. Don't say that. Just think. This ridiculous group has gotten you into nothing but trouble. What were they called? Alright, geesh, Mom. I'm gonna think about it, okay? Thank you, honey. Mom, I'm sorry, but I really have to go now. If I don't want Victor Rosen to personally fire me. I have to go. Sorry, love you, bye.